To access free topic sheets, worksheets, or to book an online class, visit ilearneasy.co.uk. Assertive. Assertive. This means confident and direct in expressing opinions or needs. For example, being assertive doesn't mean being rude, it just means being clear. Reluctant. Reluctant. This means unwilling or hesitant to do something. For example, she was reluctant to speak up in the meeting. Consistent. Consistent. This means always behaving or performing in a similar way. For example, she's very consistent with her work quality. Significant. Significant. This means important or meaningful. For example, there was a significant improvement in his exam scores. Indicate. Indicate. This means to show, point out, or suggest something. For example, her tone indicates something is wrong. Justify. Justify. This means to give a reason or explanation for something. For example, can you justify why this decision was made? Fundamental. Fundamental. This means essential or the foundation of something. For example, understanding your audience is fundamental to good communication. Diverse. Diverse. This means showing variety, such as different types of people. For example, we work with a diverse group of clients from all over the world. Adequate. Adequate. This means good enough and sufficient for a purpose. For example, the lighting is adequate for now, but it could be improved. Sustain. Sustain. This means to keep something going over time. For example, can we sustain this level of productivity long term? Validate. Validate. This means to confirm that something is correct or acceptable. For example, his results helped validate the original theory. Reinforce. Reinforce. This means to strengthen or support something. For example, the training session reinforced what we learned last week. Simplify. Simplify. This means to make something easier to do or understand. For example, we need to simplify the instructions for new users. Specify. Specify. This means to state something clearly and in detail. For example, please specify which file you're referring to. Prioritize. Prioritize. This means to rank things in order of importance. For example, we need to prioritize the most important tasks first. Reflect. Reflect. This means to think deeply or show something clearly. For example, take a moment to reflect on your progress. Persuade. Persuade. This means to convince someone to do or believe something. For example, he tried to persuade me to join the team. Recommend. Recommend. This means to suggest something as a good option. For example, can you recommend a good restaurant nearby? Interpret. Interpret. This means to explain the meaning of something. For example, how do you interpret her silence? Observe. Observe. This means to watch carefully or notice something. For example, I've observed a big change in her attitude lately. Maintain. Maintain. This means to continue or keep something in good condition. For example, it's hard to maintain a healthy routine with a busy schedule. Inquire. Inquire. This means to ask about something formally or politely. For example, I called to inquire about the job posting. Modify. Modify. This means to change something slightly, usually to improve it. For example, we'll need to modify the plan based on new feedback. Contribute. Contribute. This means to help or give something, especially to a group or effort. For example, everyone is expected to contribute ideas to the project. Exceed. Exceed. This means to go beyond a limit or expectations. For example, sales this month exceeded our projections. Assume. Assume. This means to take something as true without proof. For example, don't assume she's angry. Maybe she's just tired. Critique. Critique. This means to evaluate in a detailed and thoughtful way. For example, she asked me to critique her presentation before the meeting. Emphasize. Emphasize. This means to give special importance or attention to something. For example, the teacher emphasized the need for clear arguments. Assess. Assess. This means to evaluate or judge something. For example, we need to assess the risks before moving forward.